Thank you, Jason. And I want to echo something that Joe Rourke said. Joe Rourke and I are running for the same office. Before we both announced, and over the last few years, Joe and I have been friends. We've been good colleagues. We are today. And after this election is over, we still will be. He asked, or he said, why does he want to be circuit judge? And that's a good question. Judge Clymer seemed to indicate that he was glad that he's now judge executive and not a trial court judge. This is a job that I have wanted for a number of years. The Duke of McCracken County is my home. It's my wife's home. It's my kids' home. I lived here for 54 of my 60 years. The only times I've been away was to go to undergraduate school in Murray, go to law school in Carbondale, and for a little more than a year began my private practice in Southern Illinois. This is home. The Duke of McCracken County has been not just good to me, it's been great to me. About 150 years ago, my great-grandfather and his family immigrated from Germany. And it's kind of neat to be here off the Cairo Road because right down the road, they set up shop. They set up shop with a dairy farm, a produce farm, and a grain farm. And my cousin David Balmer still farms to this day. So I love this community. I'm from Lonoke. My wife's from Reedley. My mom and her family and a lot of my cousins went to Heath. Today I live smack dab in the middle of Midtown, so I've got all the corners covered when it comes to the Duke of McCracken County. Joe and I are running for a little different kind of office. We can't make you promises. We can't tell you how we're going to rule. We can't tell you what we're going to do other than we're going to be fair and we're going to use our experience to make the right rulings, to conduct the right kind of court. I've been in over 60 different state courts, over 35 years. I've done civil practice and I've done criminal practice. For 33 years, I did civil practice. I did civil practice in areas that are important to this community. This community relies a lot on the medical industry. I've worked in medical malpractice, in credentialing, certificates of need, all sorts of things that touch on that area of industry for this county. I know my way around that law. I know my way around a courtroom. Schools and education are a big deal here. I've dealt with education law. I've dealt with property law, with contracts, any number of different types of things. Construction. There's always construction in the Duke of McCracken County, and I've done construction cases, contracts, looked at those types of things. I've watched judges work on those particular topics, and I've learned over my 35 years how to make rulings, how to shepherd juries, how to make instructions, how to make certain that every person that comes before a court is treated fairly. For the last 2 to 3 years, I've done criminal law because, folks, I wanted to be a judge for a long time, and I've tried to get appointments. People in Frankfurt who make those appointments tell me, Mr. Walter, you've got a good civil resume, but you don't have any criminal law. At that time, I thought, well, you know, all these prosecutors that you keep appointing to be judge, they don't have any civil experience. I thought that. I didn't say it to them, but it motivated me to get more experience. So back in 2019, I went to work for the DPA. A 58-year-old attorney who had been in civil practice for such a long time went to a job that usually attracts 25-year-old law school graduates. And I had the time of my life. I loved criminal law. It showed me a whole different aspect of courtrooms. And I like courtrooms. I like hearings. I like being able to get my hands dirty when it comes to the law and how it affects people. 6 months ago, my friend Dan Bowles gave me an opportunity to do the other side, to do prosecution. And I've enjoyed that too. Yesterday in the paper, it talked about the fact that there was a case, there was a man who was accused of molesting a child. Through my office's work, we got him to agree to a 20-year plea. That's justice. Earlier this summer, Guthrie Allen and I obtained a 35-year sentence for a man who had killed his ex-wife. 3 weeks after I joined the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, I tried a 39-year-old man who had raped a 79-year-old woman. He got life. That is the type of situation, those are the type of experiences that I've had that I want to apply to being the best circuit judge I can be. I told you how much I love this community, and I want to be a public servant. And I cannot think of any better public servant than a judge. That's what I want to do. And I want to leave you with one thought. Somebody mentioned all the trouble up in Wisconsin. You may think, Chuck, why are you talking about Kenosha, Wisconsin, here in Paducah, Kentucky? I think there's something important to be learned from that situation. I'm going to take a little different tack on it. You're hearing about the Rittenhouse murder trial. You're also hearing a lot about that judge, Judge Schroeder, I believe. All the news, all the stuff, the talking heads, all the media, they're talking garbage. They're making noise. It's static in the background. That judge has to ignore that stuff. Judges do not take popularity polls. They don't put their thumb on the pulse of the community. They follow the law. What happens out there on the fringe, it's not that relevant. It's what happens in the courtroom that is relevant. You follow the law. You don't follow your own personal prejudices. You don't follow your own personal preferences. You follow the law. It's up to these other folks who have talked to you today about making the law. You apply it. And how do you apply it? You apply it fairly. No matter where you're from, no matter what your last name is, no matter how you pray, no matter what job you do, no matter how you live your life within the law, you deserve the same due process. You deserve the same hearing, whether it's civil or criminal. You deserve your day in court, and the community deserves to know that you'll work to keep them safe and to uphold the law for everybody concerned. I thank you for hearing me today. I thank this wonderful group of people for sponsoring this event, giving us a time to speak and to talk. Like others have said, I'm more than happy to talk to you some. I've got t-shirts back there. I have my wonderful campaign coordinator, Kirsten Meadows, a wonderful young woman who's helped me here today. And I leave by saying, I need your support and I need your prayers. We all need your prayers. Thank you very much. God bless.